If social media for your handmade business just feels like yet another unpaid job, listen up. The Social Media Sidekick is for handmade business owners who want structure without the stress. You get monthly content plans, captions that are already written, Canva templates, trend updates, and light mode options for when life is heavy, so that you can stay visible without spending every spare minute thinking about what to post, and stay making rather than marketing. Join before the 5th of February at 8 p.m. UK time, and you'll also get exclusive bonuses worth over £1,200, all designed to save you hours every month and help your content actually get you sales, not just likes. This isn't about posting more, it's about posting smarter. And if you want your socials done for you, handled, not hanging over you like a to-do list, join us now at handmadebosses.com/SMS fix. The link is also going to be in the show notes. What a way to kick off 2026 by having your socials done for you for the entire year, all for less than a fancy takeaway every week. That is what we're going to do for you. Spill the tea with me for a second. Do you ever look at another Etsy shop and be like, how are they doing that? It is the same niche, the same platform, the same everything, but their shop is flying and yours feels like it's jogging through treacle, just ridiculously stuck, not really going anywhere. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how the top 0.1% of Etsy shops got there. And while you might feel behind, but you feel like you're working your arse off. And no, it's not luck, it's not talent, it's definitely not the algorithm having some kind of personal vendetta against you. If your Etsy shop feels busy, noisy, mildly exhausting, but not productive, like you're posting, tweaking, listing, faffing, yet sales are completely flat, random, they come in bursts, or they disappear as fast as they've arrived, this video is going to be for you. Because the problem isn't usually effort, okay? Because if it was just like effort, dedication, we'd all be Etsy millionaires by now, because you love your craft, you love what you do, you just want to bring it to the world and make some damn money from it. And it's not that you've lazy or you've missed the Etsy boat. It's actually habits, like the behind the scenes boring stuff that is not sexy, does not get great click-through rates on reels, like this kind of unsexy truth, which is just stacking habits. So today, for you, I'm going to be breaking down these three things. What top Etsy sellers do on repeat, what most sellers do instead, very relatable to you probably, and how to stop feeling like you're behind when really you're just kind of guessing your way through it. Here's a question of the day for you. What if the difference between a stuck shop and a growing one isn't what you sell? So many people blame their products and it's not. But instead, it is how you are running your business when no one is there, when no one's clapping for you, when no one is giving you applause. If we've not met, hello, my name is, I've been running my own handmade business full-time since 2016, and I have been there, done that, bought the t-shirt when it comes to everything I talk about in these podcasts. And I really want to bring you an honest, real look, not these YouTubers that are like, oh my God, Etsy's changed again. Oh my God. Like, I don't want to be doing that. I actually want to be bringing you the tea, the real life, down to earth, simple view of what is actually right and what is actually wrong and what's actually going to work and what is a complete and utter waste of time and fluffy BS. The first thing I want to talk about is the lie of overnight Etsy success, right? You've probably seen this one before, and I just want to squash this one immediately, right? Because there's no such thing as Etsy overnight success. What you see is probably one product blowing up, loads of reviews, sales coming in over and over and over again, right? That is what you see, okay? And that's what you base your whole comparison judgments on. They're getting this and I'm not getting anything. That's what you're basing that on. But what you don't see is the 120 listings that flopped before it actually did something good. The price changes, the doubt, the photos that have been reshot 3, 4, 5, 7 times, the descriptions rewritten after the same questions kept coming up. I think most Etsy sellers are waiting for that one person, waiting for that one, I don't know, TikTok video, reel, blog post, whatever, that's going to tell them the secret hack. Almost like they wish it's going to be a switch that's like, that's why I didn't. And sometimes people think that's like an SEO hack. Sometimes people think it's like, I need to switch ads on. Sometimes people think it's, oh, I'm selling the wrong product. I need to start doing XYZ like everybody else does. And sometimes people think that it's like the way that they shoot their photos, their videos. So they start using like AI tools to make their photos look better. And honestly, it just makes them look 10 times more fake. But the thing is, and this is really the first thing that I want you guys to be aware of, is that you are only seeing the outermost things that you can see publicly, right? So I am a top 0.1% Etsy seller myself, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that it did not come overnight. It was very much an obsessive trial and error. And I'm always telling like my students, always A/B test. If you want to test a new SEO hack, A/B test. If you want to test a new way to take pictures, A/B test. And what an A/B test is literally you're keeping your one listing exactly the same. You're making a copy, you're making one change, and you're testing it for 4 months. So the unsexy thing here is that you're just testing. It's just time. And I guess like a little bit of energy as well, because like if you go nuts on your shop for 3 days and then ghost it for 6 months, obviously that's not going to be as good as someone who is consistently at it each and every week. Now let's talk about these hidden habits, right? Because I've said about, habit stacking and the things that you don't see. So those are the things that I really want to go into. So hidden habit number 1, products are never finished, right? Top Etsy sellers don't list a product and then emotionally just like check out, like retire it. They list it, they watch it, they notice. Remember that thing I said about A/B testing? That is exactly what they are doing here. So what they take note of, and it can be literally like the notes on your phone, it can be on a Google sheet, it can be on a spreadsheet, it can just be on a notepad, but they're taking notice, they're watching how people interact with it. You need to start to see Etsy like a gigantic craft fair. If you were at a craft fair, right, and you were stood there with your store, you wouldn't just like casually people watch as people walked past your store. No, you wouldn't. As a business owner, as a marketer, as a researcher, what you need to do is to actually look at how people are interacting with your products. What are they picking up? What are they putting down? What are they pointing at? What are they telling their mate about? What are they telling their other half about? What are they saying when they walk past your store? And that is exactly what you need to do, the equivalent of doing that within your Etsy shop. So you need to look at what gets favored but not bought, what converts quickly, what gets questions, and what kind of questions are they, where buyers hesitate. You need to actually look at all of those things, look at all of the data, go into your individual listings. Don't just look at the general analytics within your shop, the stats like your overall shop. No, that's not any good. We need to actually go into the individual listings, look at the individual stats, and analyze and really look at. And you honestly want to be spending about an hour a week on this. If you've got like 50 plus listings, this should be taking you an hour or two every single week. But all you are looking at and trying to recognize, I guess, is those patterns that people are doing for certain things, right? And then once you've spotted the patterns, once you've kind of gone through those things, you need to just tweak quietly, without drama, like without making it mean something about yourself. You never want to make decisions based on how you feel. You only want to make decisions based on the data. Now, I have ADHD, so for me, I feel things very, very deeply. Like I am an empath at heart, I guess, and I'm really like I do, and I have done it in the past, made decisions based on how I feel because I feel so deeply about it. But now I've got this quiet kind of like checked out, but it's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't care about how I feel about it. I just need to make decisions based on the data. I'm not saying your business has to have none of you in it and none of how you feel in it, but certainly when it comes to like you saying, hey, why am I not getting sales? Why am I not getting views? Why are people favoriting but not buying? That is not things that you want to tweak based on how you feel about it. So what most people do instead is they'll either abandon the product, decide it's not meant to be, whatever that means, or they'll add 3 new product lines into their shop because that feels more productive. Been there, done that, did the same thing, got the t-shirt, burned it. I've done that so many times. I think I'd literally be a millionaire if I could put a penny aside every time I've done that or thought about doing that. And honestly, like, your product range isn't a museum. It's like sourdough bread. Bear with me, this is going somewhere. You don't bake it once and walk away. You feed it, right? And that is where people get stuck because they don't know what to change. They don't really know what to focus on. So they change everything all at once within the span of like a week, or they change nothing. And if you've never reviewed one of your listings properly, I've got something for you in the description below, and it's called the Product Listing Makeover Kit. And it basically shows you what actually affects conversions, what to tweak, what to leave alone, so you stop like mentally rewriting your entire listing at like midnight, or maybe you're actually, I don't know, on your laptop, like tweaking things and going like, oh, I need to get some money in, I need to like tweak and change and and still not knowing if the tweaks that you've made are actually going to make any money at all. So what I'll do is I will link that for you below. All right, so hidden habit number 2 is I don't mean to sound I don't know what the word is, but I don't mean to sound like I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but they price like adults running a business. Like that is, let me start that again. So hidden habit number 2. It's one of those days today I don't feel like filming, but I have to. Hidden habit number 2, they price like adults running an actual real life business. I don't mean to sound like an absolute cowbag here, but top sellers do not price their products based on guilt, vibes, or what feels fair. Again, whatever that means, right? And I understand that there are a lot of you who want to create affordable products. And like, that is probably the number one thing that I hear the most is, but Steph, like, I want to make my products accessible, affordable for people. And I love you for that. I really do understand why you want to do that. However, what people can and cannot afford is almost kind of like none of your business. In a weird, twisted way, you cannot judge an entire segment of your target audience based on what you think they can afford to buy from you, right? So actually, when you turn it on its head, you actually start to kind of think, yeah, like, who am I to say, are my products affordable or not, right? So you don't price on guilt, vibes, or what feels fair. What you do price on is time, sustainability, and perceived value. I've been harping on about perceived value since I started coaching in 2019. And I think it's one of my most viewed YouTube videos, talking about, well, it's not really talking about, it's an utter rant, to be honest with you, but talking about this whole thing of perceived value, right? Cheap does not automatically mean appealing. And higher prices don't scare the right buyers. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. I've literally got countless student names in my head where they've been scared of raising their prices for literal months, literal years. And the minute they do, it's like a light bulb. It is literally like that switch, because people are no longer frightened to buy from you because they're like, oh, it's a bit cheaper. Like, I don't know whether that's going to be the high quality that I'm expecting or blah, blah, blah. And they actually start making profit. I know it sounds counterintuitive, like you're thinking, I wouldn't buy a higher cost product. Why would someone else? But that's cool. You're not your own target audience. Does that make sense? So we've established that perceived value pricing is everything. If someone came up to you and said, hey, do you want to buy an iPhone for like £100? You know, the one that's like £1,200 in the shops, your immediate reaction would be, run the F away. I'm not doing that. But that's kind of what you're doing in your handmade business if you're rocking up with a product that should be like $50 and you're charging like $20 for it. You think you're going to get more sales and more eyeballs because you think the price is going to attract people to click on your listing, but it's actually doing the complete opposite, right? So higher prices don't scare the right buyers. Now, also, what like higher tiered, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, sellers do is that they also use bundles, they use variations, and they use tiered options. So what this means is that, you know, that little drop down menu is that buyers choose whether they want to add an upsell, or they want to add a cross sell, or they want to add an upgrade of sorts. So this is really, really good because it ups your average order value. This has been proven for literal years that people who are shown an option that upgrades the product that they've already kind of decided they're going to add to cart and buy, people are much more likely to add that because A, it's helpful for them. Like, I'm not saying create some crappy product and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to add that as, no. You want to actually create products that amplify what they've already bought, that complement what they've already bought. So things like cleaning cloths, gift wrapping, express postage, blah, 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 blah. And again, I am going to mention the product listing makeover kit below, because that is just going to be such a good thing for you to run your listings through. It's quick, it's easy, it's efficient. It's just like a nice little toolbox to spend a couple of hours going through. Hidden habit number 3, they list even when it's boring. Top sellers are nosy AF. Like, I'm super duper nosy. They read reviews, messages, FAQs, repeat questions, because customers are literally saying, this confused me, or I love this, do more of this, or do you do this version? Like, I don't think enough people realize that any interaction, like literally any interaction, whether it's a comment on Instagram, a message, whatever, is so valuable for you, because it's literally giving you clues as to what people like, don't like, want to see more of, want to see less of. Most sellers ignore these clues and they go, I think people want to see more of this. I think people like this. So I think I'm going to create this. Or even worse, they'll say, you know what? I want to create this. So I'm going to create this. And then they kind of say in like 6 months' time, oh, well, I created it and no one bought it. Well, that's because you weren't creating your products based on what people were telling you they wanted. You created products, A, on what you think people wanted, or B, what you wanted. You didn't actually create products based on what they wanted. And they are the people with the money that's going to keep your business alive. So you really have to listen to what people are saying. So most people will go, I think people want, insert thing here. Top sellers go, people keep asking me for this. Noted. I'm going to put that on my next product creation drop. It's less guessing and more listening, really, or reading, as the case may be online. The thing that I want to leave you with here is that your customers are doing market research for free. Hidden habit number 4, they work in rhythms, not panic. This one does change a lot for you. And I think especially if you are autistic, ADHD, or DHD, as the case may be for me, is that you kind of really struggle with this one. And I struggled with this one for the longest time. I still do to some degree. Like, you're not going to have ADHD and just kind of automatically things are rosy and nice, you know? You are going to have the struggles, and you are going to kind of be so frustrated with yourself at times that you're like, ugh. But top sellers, they don't wake up every day asking, what should I be doing today? And just like aimlessly switching on their laptop just because they think they should be doing something productive. Does that make sense? You shouldn't just be like, oh, this is a working day for me, so I'm going to sit and I'm going to work. I don't care what on, but I'm just going to sit and I'm going to work. Now, to be honest with you, up until last year, this is what I used to do. I was like, right, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, I'm going to sit and I'm going to sit my bum in this chair. Whereas actually I'm like, do I have something that I need to do today that's actually going to move me towards my goals? If the answer is no, I might not work that day because I'm not feeling it, and I might work a different day. That's kind of like a bit of a side thing. But what top sellers do is that they have already decided what those things are that they're going to do that day. Whether it is tiny, daily, non-negotiable things, a weekly review, a monthly focus, they know from one week to the next exactly what they are going to be doing. Now, what I mean by this is like, hey, if you are in an active, I'm growing my social media stage, okay, and I'd recommend for you to have one focus per quarter of the year. So whatever that looks like to you whenever you're watching this, is that you can't just go like, this week I'm going to grow my social media, next week, because it doesn't really work like that. These big goals, they take time. So let's say your goal for the quarter is to grow your social media, right? Maybe one of your daily non-negotiable things is that you scroll through your feed and you save some things that inspire you. Or maybe your daily is, I'm going to write down some prompts and some post ideas of things that I want to create, content that I want to create, content that I want to post. Or maybe you're like, I'm going to spend 15 minutes interacting with other handmade business owners or other people who are my target audience. It's those real small but mighty repeatable daily things, or every other day or every 3 days as the case may be, that really moves the needle. And I've been doing these for about a year now, and it's honestly changed the game for me. So I know that a certain day I'm going to be recording videos. I know that a certain day I'm going to be doing my lives. I know that a certain day I'm going to be doing like back end stuff, working on the business rather than in it. So what I'm saying here is that decide what your daily non-negotiable habits are that you know over time consistently will move the needle for you. And there's a thing that I want to leave you with, and that is that if you made your shop 1% better every single week, which is not a lot, it's not going to take you a lot of time, but if you make your shop 1% better every week, by the end of this year, whatever, your shop is going to be 52% better. Doing that is so much more effective than doing like 1% every other month because you don't know what you're going to focus on. So I really hope that that makes sense. And I know for those of you who are neurospicy, you are going to find this a little bit tricky, but maybe start by looking at those things in the past that have actually done something for you, that have actually moved the needle for you. Creating that off the cuff story, creating a free gift or a freebie or something like that. Like, honestly, just look back at those things, those simple things that you did that you thought, wow, that really moved the needle towards my goals, and do more of that. So let's do our Sam versus Lydia moment. Now, I love doing this because sometimes we need a story told about someone else to be able to recognize those things in ourselves, okay? So Sam lists products once and never revisits them. She just cannot be asked to really do it. She prices on an emotional level. She adds new products all the time. Instead of putting some attention towards fixing the old ones, she avoids stats because they make her feel a little bit sick. She feels permanently behind, busy, knackered, stuck, just is the word that I would use to describe how Sam feels. Lydia, she does things differently, and Lydia is like my gal. She reviews listings on a regular basis. She tweaks bestsellers instead of reinventing the wheel every single time. She prices for profit. She listens to her customers, and she treats her Etsy shop and her whole business really like a system. It's the same effort, very different outcome. But the difference here is Lydia runs a business. Sam pulls a slot machine every single week and hope that she wins. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. I really hope that this has been helpful for you. I'm just going to go through and recap on those 3 habits just so you kind of like got them fresh in your head. So habit number 1, products are never finished. Habit number 2, they price like adults running a real business. Habit number 3, they listen even when it's boring. And habit number 4, they work in rhythms, not panic. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. And really, it is those unsexy things that build an Etsy business up to like a 0.1% level. It is not the hacks. It is not all of that rubbish. It's just being consistent and having those key repeatable actions, I feel like, is a real big takeaway here. So guys, thank you so much for watching/listening, depending on where you are watching or listening to this. Do not forget to subscribe, because that is the only way that you are going to get a ping every time I release one of these videos. And honestly, like, make this your 1% weekly thing. Like, actually show up and listen to this every single week and do the thing, do the homework, and that will be the thing that makes your business 1% better each and every week. But for now, my loves, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all real soon. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you love this episode, make sure you hit the follow button so you never miss the next one. And also, why not come and hang out with me on Instagram? It's at Handmade Bosses for daily tips, behind the scenes. And also, don't forget, you can catch the video version of this podcast over on YouTube too. Until next time, keep going towards your handmade business goals, boss, because the world really does need those special creations that only you can make.